The automotive industry is sounding a rare and urgent note of alarm. Major car makers, suppliers, and industry associations are warning that vehicle production could be disrupted within weeks unless a semiconductor supply crisis is resolved. The flashpoint, chipmaker Nexperia, and the complex web of global trade, exports, and manufacturing that lies behind it. Here's what's at stake. Nexperia, a Netherlands-based semiconductor firm deeply embedded in vehicle component supply, recently came under government control in the Netherlands on grounds of national security and technology transfer concerns. Almost simultaneously, China placed export restrictions on key components, citing the same company in its sanctions. These dual moves have created a sudden, acute chip supply risk for automakers. Why do these chips matter so much? They may not be the flashiest or the most advanced, but they are the unglamorous workhorses in countless vehicle modules, lighting systems, power management, control units, sensors, electronic switches. For many car platforms, especially electric vehicles, the number of individual chips used can exceed 1,000 per vehicle. When one chip type is unavailable, an entire module or vehicle line can be halted. Industry groups like the Alliance for Automotive Innovation in the US and the European Automobile Manufacturers Association, ACEA in Europe, have issued blunt warnings. They say automakers might run out of key components and face shutdowns unless alternate chip flows are established quickly. One analyst described the situation as the most acute chip crisis since the early 2020s. Considering the logistics, vehicle manufacture is structured around just-in-time supply, with factories relying on a steady stream of components arriving daily. If one part fails, the build line may stop. One automaker confided that U.S. plants could be impacted as early as next month if deliveries don't resume. For broader context, this supply risk is layered on top of other stresses: inflation, freight bottlenecks, regional trade tensions, and legacy issues in the EV transition, which uses more electronics than conventional vehicles. Automakers scaled up expecting longer lead times or smoother supply. This disruption throws that assumption out the window. What can automakers do? Short term, they're exploring inventory swaps, dual sourcing, and engineering alternatives. But each option takes time. New supplier approvals, vehicle certification, logistics changes. They're essentially buying time. Long term, the crisis may accelerate efforts to localize chip manufacturing, diversify supplier bases, and reduce reliance on geopolitically exposed sources. For workers, suppliers, and regional economies, the risk is real. Shutdowns mean idle plants, idle workers, and idle investment. For consumers, the risk is fewer vehicles, delayed launches, and potentially higher prices. In summary, the automotive industry is not just concerned, it is preparing for possible production disruption. A complex geopolitical action around one chip maker has now rippled into factories, vehicles, and employment around the world. The next few weeks will be critical. We follow breaking news, so follow us and subscribe to stay current.